If you struggle with fake outs, late entries, or random indicators, I have a three-step process that will fix all of this. Now, I've used this process daily on things like SPY, QQQ, and NVIDIA, and this has led me to grow my account from 3,000 to 60,000 in just about 2 years' time. This has also helped me educate my Discord members and help them gain consistent profitability, which is what I aim to do in this video. Now, this strategy consists of three main factors, going to be the 9 and 21 EMA, the MACD, and the RSI. Now, when we compile all these together and put their data into one, we can see that when all of these align, that we can absolutely strike on either a call or a put option, and the reward tends to be pretty massive. Now, I'm going to show you guys this in today's video, and I'm going to run this down completely. So if this is your first time watching the Bullish Buzz channel, make sure you guys do like and subscribe as always, and let's go ahead and jump right into this video. As we do jump into this video, I want to make sure that you guys are familiar with these indicators first. So we're going to go ahead and quickly brief over all of these indicators and what their intended use is. Now, looking here on TradingView, where I do most of my charting, of course, you guys can use any trading platform that allows these kind of indicators. But I do think that the 9 and 21 EMA is going to be our most important here. So I'm going to highlight this first. You guys can see that my 9 EMA is highlighted in this orange color, and then my 21 is in this blue color. Now, your ideal strategy is going to be taking, or at least looking at, a put as the 9 EMA crosses under the 21 EMA, as you guys can see here. As the 9 EMA crosses under the 21, that is where I'd look to take a put. Now, if I'm looking to take a call, it's going to be the complete opposite. I'm going to look for the 9 EMA to cross above the 21, like here, where we cross above the 21 EMA, and you guys can see that we go absolutely parabolically green. Now, that is a brief stint on the 9 and 21 EMA. Of course, there is more research that should be done by your guys' self personally before you guys go ahead and jump in and use these indicators. But that is a brief overview of the 9 and 21 EMA. Now, I do want to go ahead and switch over to the MACD, which you guys can see in the middle of my screen right here. And it is much of the same story as the 9 and 21 EMA. You guys can see that as the 9 EMA does cross above the 21 EMA, so does the MACD, but it actually does it just a little bit sooner than the 9 and 21 EMA. I use this as my indicator to go ahead and start taking a look at stocks or possible options that I'd be looking to take. Now, you guys can see back here, we crossed at about the same time on the MACD and the 9 and 21 EMA. So sometimes it does perfectly align, but when you guys can find the time where it does break away from the structure, that is when you get some of the best moves. So here's an area right here where I would see that we are crossing on the MACD. It looks like we are about to cross on the 9 and 21 EMA. So I might sit here and wait a little bit, kind of get my structure set up and see where my price targets would be. And then from there, I would go ahead and look to take a long call as we do actually go ahead and cross this 9 and 21 EMA right here. And that is how you would pair those two indicators together. You would go ahead and look at one, say, hey, look, the MACD is looking to curl, looking to cross one or the other way, and then go ahead and take a look at the 9 and 21 EMA, see if they are aligning or see if there is a little bit of distance between the two. And that is where you guys can go ahead and make your decision on whether you guys see a nice, high profitable trade, or if this is one that you may skip out on and maybe look to take the next. Now that we have learned how to trade with the 9 and 21 EMA and the MACD, it's time to add the third step in our three-step process. And I believe that this third step will kind of wrap it all up and give you guys more confidence within your personal trades. But this last indicator here is going to be the RSI, and the RSI is on a scale from 70 to 30, 30 being severely oversold and 70 being severely overbought. Now you guys can see in periods here where we have this massive sell-off is where the RSI tends to head down. And where we have a nice little buying period, that is where the RSI heads in an uptrend. Now, obviously, this is in close relation to the stock, of course, but as you guys can see, there is this middle line right here, and this is where I will use to deviate a lot of my plays. Now, as you guys can see here, as we come down on this play, and we are severely oversold, we do go ahead and cross back up above this line, use it as support, much as the same with our stock plays, and as we use that as support, then we continue much higher. Now, this range true for most of the RSI. As you guys can see, after this, we continue back down, and then this line right here is used as resistance, and we continue down further. Now, this is a very common trend with the RSI, so it is important to look out for this. And it is actually a good thing that we can use within our trading, because you can say not only are we bouncing off the 90 EMA right here and continuing higher, but we are also bouncing off of the RSI, continuing much higher, and much is the same with this MACD. See, this is how you guys can continue to stay in these trades, gain even more profitability from the trades that you guys are already taking. And this will help you guys give a little bit more structure behind your main trades so that when you guys are in a trade, you guys can understand your take profit, stop loss, and before you guys even get into the trade, you guys understand what is going to happen and what could possibly be coming in the next few minutes, days, or weeks, depending on what kind of call you are looking to take. Now that we understand what these indicators are and how they are used within our strategy, I do want to go ahead and throw these all onto the chart and use them in tandem and show you guys what I would actually do and how I've actually used these trades in the past to make not only myself, but my Discord members a buttload of money. Now, jumping over to the chart here, you guys can see that this is SPY chart on the 5-minute time frame. Now, this is where I normally do a lot of my charting. And you guys can see right here, I was looking at this nice little bull flag coming out of a morning open where we absolutely exploded up. Now, I was looking at this for a liquidity sweep where we could maybe come back down. I could grab some calls and we run it up. And it looks like we did actually get that. We got a little bit of a push out of there, but I was also very aware that we saw this nice overbought zone in the RSI, and we also saw this cross in the MACD. So I was saying maybe this move is a little extended. Maybe we'll see a bit of a pullback soon. And I just continued to wait for it. I actually passed up on these calls where, yes, I could have probably made 40–50%, but it didn't align with my trading plan, which is one of the most important things. No indicator can tell you that. Only trade within your trading plan. But nonetheless, here you guys can see that we are severely overbought and we are curling to the downside on the MACD, which indicates that we could be looking for puts. Now, as I was approaching right here, I did see that we had some prior support back here, and I actually did alert a put right here. And obviously, you guys can see how that panned out. Ended up running about 522% down from about $616 all the way down to around $610. And this was late day, so these contracts were absolutely moving. But nonetheless, that is how I would take that. And then, of course, your confirmation right here is going to be the 9 and 21 EMA crossing at last. And that is where I go ahead and add the rest of my position. And from there, you guys can see that we pour down, come back, retest these EMAs, pour down again, retest the 9 EMA, and pour down yet again. And then I actually ended up selling out of these calls at around $612. I made around $400 or 400% in profit, but I could have let these run and make even more, but it wasn't worth that for me. I will take 400% any day of the week. But immediately after that, I saw that we were actually oversold. And I can see down here that the MACD is crossing right here. And if you see, that aligns perfectly where I go ahead and take my call. And now I went ahead and jumped into this call here because it looked like we were bouncing late day. We actually got some good news from some politician. I believe Trump came out and had some good news. Either way, I went ahead and jumped into this call and alerted this call, and it ran 200% into the end of day. I actually took these as swings, and as you guys can see, we got a gap up. So it was actually north of around 400% when it was all said and done. Now, I took this trade, like I said, because we were oversold on the RSI, the MACD was crossing, and it looked like we were curling on the EMAs. Now, I went ahead and went with the 1-day DTE because I wanted to add a little bit more to this. It looked like coming off of this news, we could possibly get a gap up, which we ended up getting, but that is also something for contract sizing in a different day. But like I said here, guys, this is a very clear strategy, and you guys can see how well everything is respected in this indicator and these strategies when combined. You guys can see that it's really hard to lose a trade if you're trading with volatility, which is really the only thing that I would highly suggest. Please do not trade these on slow volatility stocks. Do not trade these on penny stocks. This is not what it's for. This is going to be for your option plays. This is for stuff like SPY, QQQ, NVIDIA, Meta, those big time, good premium plays. Now, anything else other than that is not going to return as well. So I would just stay out of that completely. But as you guys can see here, as I do scroll along, you guys can see how well this kind of stuff is just respected overall. There is not really many times where we see an overbought range, maybe one right here where we get overbought and then we kind of just stay up here for the rest of the day. This is in a time where this indicator would lag, and this is a time where you wouldn't take this trade because it really doesn't look like anything crazy is going to happen here. We have not broken through a 9 EMA. We have not broken through a 21 EMA. You guys can see this is the first time we went ahead and tested it, and that was about 11 a.m. in the morning. So this is not an area where I'd be looking to take a put, as the market is just looking absolutely insane right here. Do not bet against the market. Do not try and catch a falling knife, and do not try and reverse it on your own because you will not. Here is another great example for you guys right here. Now you guys can see right here, we have a curling EMA, we have a nice overbought zone on our RSI, and the MACD has started to curl. Now it crosses right here. You can go ahead and enter your put right here, or you could wait a little bit longer and go ahead and enter your put right where this EMA crosses, and you would still make a really nice return here. I could guarantee this being probably north of around 60 to 80%. Given this is late day, it could be even more. And then right after that, you guys can see we go straight into an oversold zone where we are curling back up on the MACD and we are curling back up on the EMAs. And so this is a zone where you guys could go ahead and flip back. Maybe you guys didn't take those last puts. And here is a zone for you guys to go ahead and enter on these longs. And once again, guys, these longs absolutely went crazy. This is a great strategy for you guys. And as you guys can see, it took me about what, 7, 8, 9 minutes to explain to you guys. So please do your due diligence and please research these indicators and understand them in full. Of course, I can't explain everything in a 10-minute breakdown. So please, please, please do your own research. But I do believe that these three indicators paired together can build a strong foundation for your trading. And even with someone like me who has been trading for a good bit here and seen really good profitability, even when I am struggling, I go back to a simple formula like this, where you guys see these trades are killer. You don't have to have any kind of crazy, trading strategy to be making something like this. All you have to have is simple things that you trust and understand and can be confident in, and it will lead you to profitability and trades like this. Now, if you guys found anything valuable from this video, please, please, please make sure you guys do like and subscribe as always, and join up on our free Discord, which is linked in the description down below. Now, I also do have a deal for you guys if you stayed until the end. If you guys saw this call and put alert, you guys can get access to this for just $10 a month. As you guys can see, I alerted this over here, but actually my bot alerted it. So I have this bot built into our Discord that alerts plays daily, and these calls are absolutely insane. I also have a bot coded into this that gives you the top 10 pre-market gainers. This is going to tell you every penny stock or any stock in general that is up in pre-market so that you guys can get the best setups for your day of trading. But as you guys can see here, if you guys want to get access to any of the things that you guys have seen in today's video, click the link in my bio, join up on the free Discord, and you guys can check it all up over there. Now, we are also going to have a 4th of July sale, so there is a lot of stuff wrapped into the last 15 minutes of this video. But as always, guys, please make sure you guys do like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.